These are 7 critical car checks that could save your life and thousands of dollars on your next road trip, yet most drivers skip them entirely. Whether you drive a Honda, Toyota, Ford, or Chevrolet, these checks apply to every vehicle on the road. With 69 million vehicle breakdowns happening every year in the United States, approximately 1 in 3 American drivers will face a roadside emergency. That's 189,000 breakdowns every single day, costing Americans a staggering $44 billion annually. But what's really alarming is that most of these breakdowns are completely preventable with a simple pre-trip inspection that takes less than 30 minutes. The numbers tell a sobering story. Vehicles over 10 years old account for more than 2/3 of all roadside assistance calls, and a staggering 81% of towed vehicles. With the average car on American roads now 12.6 years old, the oldest on record, we're sitting on a ticking time bomb of potential failures. Greg Brannon, AAA's Director of Automotive Engineering, puts it bluntly, it's no surprise that older vehicles are more likely to encounter a serious breakdown, but it is surprising just how many people are at risk. AAA responds to over 27 million roadside calls per year, making them the definitive authority on what causes vehicle breakdowns. The financial impact of ignoring these checks goes far beyond the inconvenience. A single breakdown event can cost between $350 and $700 for towing and emergency assistance alone. The average repair related to warning signs costs over $400, and that's before you factor in lost vacation time, hotel stays, and the stress of being stranded hundreds of miles from home. Road trips put fundamentally different demands on your vehicle compared to daily driving. Longer distances, unfamiliar roads, varying weather conditions, and heavier loads all stress your car's systems in ways that short commutes never do. Temperature changes can affect tire pressure, daily wear can hide developing problems, and components that seem fine for city driving can fail catastrophically on mountain passes or desert highways. Today, I'm walking you through the exact 7-point inspection system that professional mechanics use, but adapted so you can do it in your own driveway. These aren't complicated procedures requiring special tools. They're simple checks that reveal hidden problems before they strand you on the roadside. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what to look for, when to be concerned, and most importantly, how to catch problems before they become emergencies. Check number 1. Tires. Let's start with the single most critical component that connects your vehicle to the road, your tires. Your tires are literally the only part of your vehicle that touches the road, making their condition fundamental to your safety. Yet tire-related issues account for 32% of all vehicle breakdowns, making them the leading cause of roadside emergencies. The scary part is that most tire failures give warning signs that drivers either miss or ignore. Start with a visual walk-around inspection. Look for any obvious damage like nails, cuts, bulges, or signs of uneven wear. Pay special attention to the sidewalls, where damage often occurs from curb contact or road debris. If you see any metal showing through the rubber, or bulges that look like bubbles in the tire wall, that tire needs immediate replacement. Next, check your tire pressure using a digital gauge. This isn't optional. Underinflated tires can lower your gas mileage by 0.2% for every single PSI drop in pressure. The Department of Transportation estimates that underinflated tires waste about 5 million gallons of gas every day in the United States. More critically, with all 4 tires at just 50% of recommended pressure, your fuel economy drops by 10%, and your risk of a blowout increases dramatically. If your vehicle was built after 2007, it's equipped with a TPMS or tire pressure monitoring system that alerts you to low tire pressure. However, this system typically only warns when pressure drops 25% below recommended levels, which is already dangerously low for optimal performance and safety. Find your vehicle's recommended tire pressure on the placard located inside the driver's side door jamb. Check each tire when they're cold, preferably before you've driven the car that day. Heat from driving can increase pressure readings by several psi, giving you a false sense of security. Now comes the crucial tread depth check, and this is where most people get it wrong. You've probably heard of the penny test, placing a penny between the tread ribs with Lincoln's head pointing down. If you can see all of Lincoln's head, it's time to replace the tire. But there's a problem with this popular test. By the time you can see Lincoln's entire head, your tires are already at the legal minimum of 2.32 NDs of an inch, which is dangerously shallow for real-world driving conditions. Here's a better approach. Use the quarter test instead. Insert a quarter into the tread groove with Washington's head pointing down. If you can see all of Washington's head, your tread depth is below 4.32 NDs of an inch, still legal, but dangerously inadequate for wet weather stopping. Tires at 4.32 NDs take nearly twice as long to stop on wet pavement compared to new tires. The NHTSA recommends replacing tires when they reach 2.32 NDs, but tire performance begins deteriorating significantly before that point. Professional mechanics recommend replacement at 4.32 NDs for safety, especially if you'll be driving in wet conditions. Don't forget your spare tire. This is where many people discover their first nasty surprise. Spare tires can lose air pressure just sitting in your trunk, and a flat spare is both common and incredibly frustrating when you actually need it. Check the pressure and condition of your spare just like your regular tires. Check number 2. Fluids. Your car relies on 5 critical fluids to operate safely, and long drives push these systems harder than daily commuting. Each fluid serves a specific purpose, and running low on any one of them can turn a family vacation into a roadside emergency. Start with engine oil, the most critical fluid in your car. Pull out the dipstick and check both the level and condition. Fresh oil appears amber or black and flows smoothly. If it looks thick, gritty, or has a burnt smell, schedule an oil change before your trip. Low oil levels can cause catastrophic engine damage, especially during extended highway driving when your engine runs at sustained high RPMs. Next, check your coolant level in the overflow reservoir. This isn't just about preventing overheating in summer. Coolant also prevents freezing in winter and contains corrosion inhibitors that protect your engine's internal components. Low coolant levels can cause overheating, which accounts for 11% of all roadside breakdowns according to AAA statistics. If you're planning summer travel, this check becomes even more critical as ambient temperatures stress your cooling system. Brake fluid might seem less obvious, but it's equally important. Low brake fluid can indicate worn brake pads or leaks in the brake system. Either situation compromises your stopping power, something you definitely don't want to discover while descending a mountain highway. The fluid should be clear or slightly amber. If it appears dark or contaminated, have your brake system inspected before traveling. Transmission fluid keeps your gears shifting smoothly, which is especially important if you'll be tackling mountain roads or stop-and-go traffic. Low or contaminated transmission fluid can cause rough shifting, slipping, or complete transmission failure. Check the level with the engine running and the transmission warmed up, following your owner's manual procedures. Finally, top off your windshield washer fluid. This might seem minor, but highway driving exposes your windshield to more bugs, road grime, and weather than city driving. Clear visibility isn't just about comfort, it's a safety essential. A dirty windshield can create dangerous glare and reduce your ability to see hazards. Number 3. Battery failure causes 30% of all vehicle breakdowns, making it the single most common reason cars get stranded. The insidious thing about battery failure is that batteries rarely warn you before they die. They often work fine until the moment they don't. Most car batteries last between 3 and 5 years, with AGM and EFB batteries lasting 4 to 6 years. AGM batteries cost more upfront but offer better performance and longevity compared to traditional lead-acid batteries, especially in vehicles with stop-start technology. If your battery is older than 3 years, it should be tested every 6 months. If it's approaching the 5-year mark, replacement should be considered regardless of performance. Start with a visual inspection under the hood. Look for corrosion around the battery terminals, those white, green, or blue crusty deposits that can prevent proper electrical connection. Clean corrosion with a wire brush and baking soda solution if present. Check that the terminals are tight and secure. For a more thorough check, you'll need a digital multimeter. With the engine off and accessories turned off, set the multimeter to measure DC volts and connect the probes to the battery terminals. A healthy battery should read approximately 12.6 volts. 12.2 volts indicates 50% charge, while 12.0 volts means the battery is fully discharged and likely failing. Many auto parts stores offer free battery testing, which provides a more comprehensive analysis of your battery's condition under load. This test can predict impending failure before you're stranded with a dead battery hundreds of miles from home. While you're checking the battery, take a moment to inspect the serpentine belt. A loose or frayed serpentine belt can cause charging system failure, leaving you with a dead battery even if the battery itself is healthy. Look for cracks, fraying, or unusual wear patterns. Check number 4. Brakes. Your brakes are literally what stand between you and a catastrophic accident, yet many drivers ignore obvious warning signs until it's too late. Mountain driving, heavy loads, and extended highway speeds all put additional stress on your brake system. Start with a simple pedal test. With the engine running, press the brake pedal firmly. It should feel solid and stop at least halfway down. If the pedal feels spongy, goes to the floor, or requires unusual pressure, you have a brake system problem that needs immediate attention. Listen for warning sounds when braking. Squealing typically indicates worn brake pads, while grinding suggests the pads are completely worn and the brake rotors or brake discs are being damaged. Both situations require immediate attention. Grinding brakes can fail completely without warning. If you're comfortable checking yourself, look through your wheel spokes at the brake rotors. They should appear smooth and even. Deep grooves, discoloration, or obvious warping indicates problems that could lead to brake failure. Check your brake fluid level in the master cylinder reservoir. Low fluid can indicate worn brake pads or leaks in the brake system. Either situation is dangerous and should be addressed before traveling. Pay attention to how your car feels when braking. Does it pull to one side? Do you feel vibrations through the steering wheel or brake pedal? These symptoms can indicate warped rotors, uneven brake pad wear, or other issues that could lead to brake failure. If you notice any brake problems, don't delay repairs hoping they'll last through your trip. Brake failure on a mountain highway or in heavy traffic can have catastrophic consequences. As Nicole Wakeland from Car Talk notes, you never know when something is going to go wrong when you're out on the road, and this is especially true for brake systems under the stress of highway driving. Check number 5. Lights. Proper lighting isn't just about seeing where you're going, it's about making sure other drivers can see you. A burned-out taillight or turn signal can lead to rear-end collisions, especially during the varied lighting conditions you'll encounter on a long trip. Perform a complete lighting check with a helper if possible. Test your headlights on both low and high beam settings. Check that they're properly aimed. Lights pointing too high can blind oncoming drivers, while lights aimed too low reduce your visibility. Test all turn signals, including the hazard flashers. A burned-out turn signal can cause accidents when other drivers can't predict your intentions. Check your brake lights by having someone observe while you press the brake pedal, or by backing up to a reflective surface like a store window. Don't forget your reverse lights, which help other drivers see your intentions in parking lots and driveways. Test any fog lights if your vehicle is equipped with them. These can be invaluable in poor weather conditions you might encounter during your travels. Inspect your windshield wipers and replace them if they streak, skip, or leave areas uncleaned. Highway driving exposes your windshield to more debris and weather than city driving, making effective wipers critical for visibility. Consider upgrading to beam-style wiper blades which provide more consistent pressure across the windshield compared to conventional wipers. Check that your windshield washer system works properly and that the nozzles are aimed correctly. A surprising number of cars have clogged or misdirected washer nozzles that spray over the roof instead of the windshield. Check number 6. Engine bay inspection. While you don't need to be a mechanic to spot potential problems, a basic engine bay inspection can reveal issues before they leave you stranded. Look for obvious leaks, unusual wear, or components that appear damaged. Before starting your inspection, check the ground where your car was parked overnight. Fresh drips, stains, or puddles can indicate fluid leaks that need attention. Different colored fluids can help identify the problem. Red or pink usually indicates transmission fluid, green or orange suggests coolant, and dark brown or black typically means oil. With the hood open and the engine cool, visually inspect belts and hoses. Look for cracks, fraying, or unusual wear on belts. Check hoses for soft spots, bulges, or obvious leaks. A failed belt can disable your alternator, power steering, or water pump, while a burst radiator hose can cause immediate overheating. For modern vehicles, a $20 OBD2 scanner can read engine diagnostic codes and alert you to problems before they cause breakdowns. Simply plug it into the diagnostic port under your dashboard and check for any stored error codes that might indicate developing issues. Listen to your engine when it's running. Unusual noises like squealing, grinding, or knocking can indicate developing problems. While some noises might not prevent you from completing your trip, others can signal imminent failure. Look for obvious corrosion, damaged components, or anything that appears out of place. You don't need to understand exactly what everything does, but you can often spot problems visually before they become catastrophic failures. Unexpected problems can still occur. Having the right emergency equipment can mean the difference between a minor inconvenience and a dangerous situation. AAA recommends that every vehicle carry essential emergency equipment, and this becomes even more critical for road trips where you might be far from help. Start with jumper cables or, even better, a portable jump starter. Battery-related issues are the most common cause of breakdowns, and jump equipment is some of the most essential gear you can carry. Pack DOT-approved warning triangles or road flares. As Nicole Wakelin emphasizes, anytime you're pulled over on the side of the road, there's the danger that another driver may not see you or your vehicle. Proper warning devices placed behind your vehicle can prevent secondary accidents. Include a comprehensive first aid kit with bandages, antiseptic, pain relievers, and any prescription medications you might need. For those with severe allergies, include an EpiPen. Road trips often take you far from medical facilities, making basic first aid capabilities essential. Consider a pre-assembled AAA emergency kit, which includes most essential items in one package. Pack a flashlight with extra batteries, a multi-tool for basic repairs, and a tire pressure gauge for ongoing monitoring. Include emergency water, 1 gallon per person for 3 days, and non-perishable snacks like granola bars and nuts. Don't forget a phone charger. The last thing you need when stranded is a dead phone battery preventing you from calling for help. In states like Texas, Pennsylvania, and New York that require annual safety inspections, many of these checks are performed regularly. However, even in inspection states, problems can develop between inspections, making pre-trip checks essential. Let's put this in perspective. The comprehensive inspection I've outlined takes about 30 minutes and costs nothing if you do it yourself, or maybe $50 to $100 if you have a professional mechanic perform it. Compare that to the average breakdown costs, $350 to $700 for towing and emergency assistance, plus repair costs, plus lost vacation time, plus the stress and potential danger of being stranded. As Greg Brannon from AAA puts it, drivers may skip taking their car in for an inspection, hoping to avoid an expensive repair bill. But when you factor in the cost of an interrupted trip, having a vehicle inspected and proactively repaired will cost much less in the long run. The statistics bear this out. Vehicle breakdowns cost Americans $44 billion annually and lead to 30 million lost workdays. They cause traffic congestion that impacts 150 million drivers and wastes an estimated 120 million hours sitting in traffic. These aren't just numbers, they represent real people whose trips were ruined by preventable problems. Here's what you need to do before your next road trip. First, perform the 7-point inspection I've outlined at least a week before you leave. This gives you time to address any problems you discover without rushing or compromising your departure date. If you find any issues during your inspection, don't gamble with hoping they'll last through your trip. The stress of highway driving, temperature changes, and heavy loads can turn minor problems into major failures quickly. Schedule professional service for anything beyond your comfort level. While these checks can identify most common problems, some issues require professional diagnosis and repair. Finally, pack that emergency kit and check it periodically. Emergency gear doesn't help if it's not there when you need it. Your next road trip should be about making memories, not making emergency phone calls from the roadside. These 7 simple checks can mean the difference between a perfect vacation and a perfect disaster. Take 30 minutes to perform this inspection, and you'll drive with confidence knowing your vehicle is ready for whatever the road brings. The choice is yours: 30 minutes of prevention now, or potentially days of frustration later. Your car is ready to take you on your next adventure. The question is, are you ready to make sure it gets you there safely?